Hello, Tanzania. It is another lesson, another day. My name is Mwl.Elizabeth Boniface from Iteta TV. I'm here with you as member of orientation course from Iteta TV. Our subtopic of today, it is concerning with the stories of my country. Stories of my country. I think you know a lot about our country, Tanzania. Here, we will deal with simple, past, regular, and irregular verbs to narrate about our stories of our country. Because we are narrating stories of our country, it means that we narrate some activities which has already completed or has already happened at the past. We are going to use irregular and regular verbs. What is regular verbs? What is regular verbs? Regular verbs is the one that forms it is past tense and it is past participle by adding ed or d at the base form of the verb. Can I repeat? Regular verbs is the one that forms, it is simple past tense and it is past participle by adding ed or d at the end of the base form of the verb. The base form of the verb. Example of the base form of the verb, we can use the word clean. That is, clean is the base form of the verb. But to change the word clean into past, we're supposed to add ed. It means will be spoken as cleaned. To the past participle, it will be has cleaned. Another example of the past, the simple past verb, base of the form clause. When we change the base of the form clause into simple past tense, it will be closed. But when we change the word base into past participle tense, it will be has closed. So, regular verbs, we normally add ed or d to the verb to mean that it has changed from base form of the verb into simple past tense of the verb. Example, jump. The word jump is the base form of the verb. To change the word jump into simple past tense, it will be jumped. It means we have to add ed to mean a complete simple past tense of the verb. Are we together? Remember that simple past tense describes a completed activity that happened in the past. Remember that the simple past tense describe a completed activity that happened at the past. Example, Dylan closed the door. It means the door has already closed by Dylan. It means that the activity of closing the door has been already completed at the past. So, when we are telling the stories of my country, it means you are telling us something already completed at the past. Are we together? So, actual and normal, you will actually base on irregular and regular simple past tense. Let us look concerned with irregular. We have already understand how regular verbs can be formed. Regular verbs, we normally add ed or d from the base form of the verb. Irregular verbs, it means there is no formula there. It means that we are not adding ed at the end of the base of the verb. Irregular verbs, a verb in which the past tense is not formed by adding the usual ed at the end of the base form of the verb. Example, the base form of the verb become. To the past, it will be became. To the past participle, it will be has became. Another example, the word forget, that is the base form of the verb forget. To the simple past, forget, it will be forget. To the past participle, it will be forgotten. Forgive, that is the base form of the verb. To the simple past tense, it will be forgave. To the past participle, it will be forgiven. So, when you will be telling us concerning with stories from my country, it means you are narrating the past event. You will use either regular or irregular verbs. For example, of stories from my country. Tanganyika and Zanzibar united on 26 April in 1964. United, that is regular verbs, simply because it added D at the end of the base form of the verb. Another example of my history from my country, Tanganyika became independent from British on December 1961. Tanganyika became independent from the British on December 1961. Became is irregular because it does not added ed. Another example, Zanzibar became free through a revolution on 12 January 1961. Became, it is irregular verb of the past, of simple past tense. Irregular verb, it is not regular because we didn't add ed from the base form of the verb. Hello, students. I think you have understand the difference between irregular verbs and irregular verbs. You have also a lot of Tanzania histories. Tanzania has passed in different circumstances. Good stories and bad stories, interesting stories, and those stories which are not interesting. All those are stories from my country. I think you have understood very well my lesson. Don't forget to subscribe our channel. You was with Mwl.Elizabeth Boniface from Iteta TV.